Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today on Wage Wednesdays on Facebook Live. Today, we're going to be covering the past few weeks where we covered minimum wage. We're going to test our knowledge of Denver's minimum wage. And today, we're going to be playing a little bit of trivia with me as your host, Christopher Rubio. I am a labor compliance analyst for the minimum wage team. And we're going to jump right in, and we're going to have a few trivia questions. I'll give a slight pause, and you'll be able to see if the answer you guessed is correct. Our first question, what authority sets Denver's minimum wage? Is it A, Denver Mayor Michael B. Hancock, B, Auditor Timothy O. O'Brien, C, Denver City Council, or D, Denver Labor Executive Director? If you guess C, you are correct. The City Council is the one that sets the minimum wage. The Denver City Council passed the local minimum wage ordinance. Our division, led by Auditor Timothy O'Brien and Executive Director Jeffrey Garcia, only enforces the law. Question number 2. What's Denver's minimum wage rate in 2022? Is it A, $12.56 per hour, B, $14.77 per hour, or C, $15 per hour, and finally D, $15.87 per hour? If you guess D, you are correct. The 2020 minimum wage, in 2019, the state of Colorado passed a law that allowed municipalities to determine their own minimum wage. Denver's ordinance requires the minimum wage to increase from $14.77 in 2021 to $15.87 in January 2022. In one of our most recent cases, we had a business located in Arapahoe County with employees working part-time in the city and county of Denver. Will this business have to do A, comply with the state minimum wage, B, must pay those employees Denver's minimum wage for the hours that are worked in Denver, or C, must comply with the Arapahoe County minimum wage? If you guess B, you are correct. Businesses must pay employees Denver's minimum wage for the hours worked in Denver. Employers located in different counties must pay their employees working in the city, county, Denver, the local minimum wage of $15.87 per hour. Our next question, businesses are not required to pay the local minimum wage. Is this true or false? And this is going to be the local minimum wage to minors. If you guess false, that is correct. Businesses must pay all of their employees working in Denver at least the minimum wage, including those that are under the age of 18 years old. Exceptions are only applicable to certified youth programs, independent contractors, volunteers, work performed in less than 4 hours a week, workers that are traveling through Denver, and businesses in the food and beverage industry that can claim the tip credit. In 2022, Denver Labor can use active enforcement to help increase minimum wage compliance. What does this mean exactly? Is it A, they can initiate an investigation without receiving a complaint? B, Denver Labor uses data analysis to focus on high-risk industries? C, the team can do on-site visits to reach employers and catch errors? Or D, all of the responses given prior are correct? If you guess D, you are correct. Starting in 2022, city ordinance allows Denver Labor to use the data to conduct wage investigations without the need for a prior complaint. The team will focus their outreach and enforcement activities on industries and locations with a high risk of underpayments based on information gathered during the first 2 years of wage enforcement. For our next question in our trivia, all businesses with workers receiving tips can reduce their minimum wage obligation by $3.02 per hour. Is this true or false based on the past slides that we covered, the applicable exceptions? If you guess false, that is correct. Only businesses in the food and beverage industry can claim a tip credit if they prove that workers receive that amount in tips. That is going to be for $3.02 an hour as a maximum tip credit. For our next question, if employers in the food and beverage industry claim the maximum tip credit, they must pay their workers at least what? A, $11.75 per hour. B, $12.85 per hour. C, $12 per hour. Or D, $9.85 per hour. If you guessed B, $12.85 per hour, you are correct. If workers earn $3.02 in tips, their employers may deduct $3.02 from their minimum wage obligation of $15.87 an hour and pay $12.85 an hour. This only applies to the food and beverage industry. And here below is a calculation so you can see how it works. The next question, when minimum wage employees work more than 40 hours in 7 days, how much should employers pay for overtime work? Is it A, the minimum wage rate times 1.5 per hour? B, the minimum wage rate per each additional hour? Or C, it's not required for business to pay overtime work? If you guess A, you are correct. The minimum wage rate is the minimum wage rate times 1.5 an hour. The Fair Labor Standards Act establishes that salaried personnel working after 40 hours in a 7-day period must pay for overtime work. In our next example, employers in the food and beverage businesses can claim a tip credit for those tipped employees working overtime hours. Is this true or is this false? If you guess true, you are correct. Businesses can claim a tip credit when employees work extra hours in the food and beverage industry. However, the tip credit can be deducted only after calculating the regular overtime rates, which is the minimum wage rate times 1.5. And here's a brief example of this calculation. Only workers who believe they are being underpaid can submit a wage complaint to Denver Labor to initiate an investigation. Is this true or is this false? If you guess false, you are correct. Any person can file a wage complaint with Denver Labor, a colleague, a family member, a lawyer, a community organization, a friend, a client, etc. Denver Labor can also accept anonymous complaints. Thank you for playing with us today and joining us on our first trivia ever. We appreciate your time and reviewing all of the Denver minimum wage with us and our past presentations. If you have any questions in regards to minimum wage or anything that Denver Labor may help you with, you could reach us at 720-913-5039 or email us directly, where I will email you or two of my other lovely colleagues will reach out to you at wagecomplaints@denvergov.org, or you can visit our website at denverwages.org. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, please submit them here below. It's the information I reviewed before. And we will be here next week with myself again, playing trivia, but this time in Espanol. Thank you, and we appreciate your time.